Hello stock traders, in this video I am going to give a recap of the Wednesday trading day that we had, and then I'm going to give a fresh top 7 picks for Friday. So for the business day Friday right after Thanksgiving, hopefully everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I had a great Wednesday. I hope you had a great trading day also on Wednesday. The market was a little bit down, but I did rather well, and a lot of the picks that I had and also the picks that are in this list that were from Tuesday did really well. Personally, I had a 4.51% gain on Wednesday. That is a huge gain for me. I'm very well diversified, have a lot of different stocks, and so that's very good. If you are in the basic membership of our Patreon, you should have had a 3.48% gain. That is following the insiders that are on the top 7 list and all the call outs that I made. And then we have a standard group also where we talk a lot of options and a lot of other plays that are in there, not just plays that I come up with, but some of the other members come up with in there. And so those individuals that are inside that list should have had a 6.51% gain. The reason why mine is in the middle is because I take some of the basic calls and some of the standard calls, and I have kind of all of them. And so I usually get an average between the two, but there were some really great call outs in the standard group on Wednesday and a lot of really good stuff going on. Month to date, if you are following the top 7 lists that I've been putting out, you should be really close to a 40.65% gain in your portfolio. If you were to go into each and every pick evenly, that is where you should be so far this month, and it's really been on a great streak this month. November is typically a very good month for insiders. I've had 7 days in a row of green. My record is 22 days. I'm really looking to beat that, and so very excited when I get a lot of these days in a row. It gets me excited. So far year to date, I am at an 858% gain, so continue to march it along. Just really doing well. Hopefully you are doing well with your portfolio also, and you've been able to take some of these picks and make some money off of them. Wednesday, I had only one day trade that I did. That was ANPL, and it really shot up actually after I sold it. So I only made a 3.4% gain in it. I wanted to have a gain, and so that's just what I did. I sold a little early, but there were some really great picks within the group on Wednesday, and so I wanted to call some of these out. My friend Jason in the group, he called out MKD at market close on Tuesday, and I got in on that. And man, was that a fantastic move. Just a fantastic pick. I had a 52.1% gain, but I had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I don't know what happened. I just woke up for no reason, couldn't go back to sleep, and I looked at my phone and saw MKD was up 50%, and I'm like, I'm going to sell it. That was just a really terrific pick, and there's lots of really great picks from the group every day. My friend John has 2 picks that really did well for me. I just kind of picked some picks of John's and some other people in the group, but CHWY, I picked that up on John's recommendation, and my options did really terrific on that. Had a 19.1% gain. And then also in the morning right away, he called out NBAC. This stock ran all the way up 86%. It really had a fantastic day. I tried to get a good entry on it, but I just really didn't. It was just so hot. The stock was really flying. But I was able to capture a 17.3% gain on that move. And anytime you can do that, I think that's really good. So I have some sales to report from the top 7. I sold a few stocks of the insiders from the top 7 from Tuesday's video. And I sold SBH for a 7.3% gain. I sold IHRT, iHeartRadio, for an 18.6% gain. What a great pick that one was. And sold TAST for a 6.1% gain. I like to use Webull as a broker because I find that my orders fill very well. And also I can trade as early as 3 a.m. and as late as 7 p.m. at night, just like I had that pick of Jason's. I was able to sell it early in the morning after it really flew up because I had Webull. And if I didn't have Webull and the market hours weren't open, I wouldn't have been able to trade. Let's say I was a Robinhood user. I wouldn't have got nearly as much for that trade if I would have had to wait all the way till 8 o'clock in the morning Central Time. And so I like Webull for that reason. If you're looking for a powerful broker, I highly recommend that you check them out. We have a link in the description down below. You get 1 free stock when you sign up, and you get 3 more when you deposit money right now as a deal. So that's a really good buy. So I've been getting a lot of questions about how is December, how is January for your insider picks? And I have gone back year after year, and I've actually ranked every month. And of course, everything in 2020 is different. So everything with 2020 has been up in the air and very different as far as the normals go. But December is typically a fantastic month for insider activity. It is typically a really good month month for the stock market also, but last December specifically, I really did fantastic, had over a 60% gain following insiders. And in January of 2020 was also fantastic, and typically January is the best month for insider activity. December's the second best, January is typically the best, November is typically the third best, and this has been a great November actually. In December last year, in December 2019, I had a 62% gain following insiders on my portfolio. That is huge. Anytime you can do that within a month is really great. And then January of 2020, before everything went crazy, I had a 90% gain in my portfolio. So that really helped start my year off right. And I'm expecting the same thing. Typically, the market really performs well during those months. So this will be a good time. Starting December 1st, you should really check out that Patreon group. Okay, let's get to the top 7. We have some great stocks to cover, and let's get to it. Of course, there are more picks in the other groups, but this should give you a good idea of some of the picks that we've had and how it works. All right, so the first one is GTHX. We've had this one on the list a little while, and it's really doing well for us. My average in it's $12.38. And since calling it out, I am up 12.20%. It's really done well. Glenn Muir bought $675,000 worth in open market. It was a very bullish transaction. And analysts have an average target price on this of $50 a share, believe it or not. I would love to see this one double. This has been a great stock for us. We picked it up a couple times in the past and it continues to do really well. Number 7 is CAR. On Wednesday, this finished down 1.73%. My average in it's $35.05. Since calling this out in our Discord, it is up 7.70%. So doing very well. This is Avis Budget. And Karthik Sarma is buying up shares in huge amounts. Analysts have an average target on this stock at $41.17. I still think this stock is beat up from everything that's going on in the world, but it is starting to perform better. And I think that they have less competition, and I think CAR is one to watch. All right, number 6 is RAPT. This is RAPT Therapeutics, and this one has done great since adding it to the list. On Wednesday, this finished up 6.16%. My average in at $16.75. And since calling this out in our Discord, it is up a whopping 16.42% just in 3 days. And so this one has really, really done well, but it's had multiple insiders buy up shares, and that is my favorite. And these typically do really well. Also, the stock is a fantastic value. It's way undervalued. But William Raythoven, director, bought shares at $16.22. Wendy Robbins, director, bought shares at $16.09. So multiple officers going in. Analysts have an average target on this stock at $36.17, so that's more than 100% upside. And us being up in at 16% could just be the beginning of a beautiful run that's happening on RAPT. If you are looking for a good stock, this would be a good one to get into. Number 5, and this is Pactive Evergreen, PTVE. This one has been doing very well since adding it to the list. On Wednesday, this finished up another 3.36%. My average in it's $15.93. Since calling this out, it is up 6.15%. It has only been 1 day since calling this out, and so this one really hasn't had a lot of time to really run, and it's starting to go. Hughley Allen, director, bought shares at open market at $15.97. I always like to beat a director in price. Analysts have an average target price of $16.94, and I think this one will continue to do well. All right, number 4 is BioKey, BKYI. So I like this one actually for 2 reasons, and I'm going to go into that. On Wednesday, it finished a little bit down. This one was down 2.02%. This is brand new to the list, so we just called this one out. My average in it's $3.50, and since calling it out, I am down 2.86%, so you can get in it better than I can. The reason why I like it is because the CEO really bought up shares in a very, very bullish transaction, and also they have a recent government contract for their BioKey system, and so this should really do well. And you know, anytime you can get a government contract, typically it's followed up by more and more government contracts as we go. And so I think BioKey is a great investment. I think that anytime you can follow an insider like the CEO on this, this one should be good. All right, number 3 is CASI, and this is CASI Pharma. And on Wednesday, this one finished up 2.79%. This one is brand new to the list also. My average in it is $2.87. So I usually get a great price on stocks. I bought this one at almost its highest point pretty pathetic. Sometimes I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm down in it 11.50% since calling this out because it slowly faded throughout the day. It had a really big movement, but I still feel like, and I'm going to have a great result on this stock. My average in it's 287, which is a little high. But in 2017, CASI Pharma had insider activity by the CEO. And I made 700% in 2017 on this stock. And this was my biggest gainer of 2017, a little over 700% in 4 days. And so this one was really phenomenal. Anyway, the CEO just bought shares again on last Friday, the 20th. And on Monday the 23rd, went back for more shares, all in open market, extremely bullish transaction. Analysts have an average target on this stock at $3.79, so there is tons of upside left in it. And CASI Pharma is one that has a history when insider activity happens, then later on they tend to have news that is very significant and the stock price really soars. And so if you are looking to get into an insider, this one could really run. And this one might be like 5' Therapeutics, in that 5' really did terrible as far as a pick of mine. It was down, then bam, 350% up. And then if you waited until the next day, it was over 500% up. And so that was a big mover just from a couple of weeks ago. Well, CASI had a big jump and then now is kind of fading, but I'm expecting news with insider activity on this one. I think this is one that could really run. This would be a good one to get into and stick with it, because this one, don't stop 1 second before the miracle. I think this is one that will really do well. All right, number 2 is COTY, and this one continues to have insider activity, and so I really like it. Anyway, it had some fresh activity on Wednesday night, so that is really good. So far, on Wednesday, it finished down 3.84%, and it had really been on a tear, doing really well. My average in it's $7.23. Since calling this out, it is down 0.51%, so down just a little bit. But multiple officers are buying up shares, and it just really is a lot of different officers. And so I really like to see that. That's definitely something I like to see. There's probably some news coming because they just keep coming in on Wednesday night with more insider activity coming in. It makes me think that there's something going on here. So this is a good one to hold and to have. And if you get in now, you're getting in better than me. And so I think this one would be a really good one. Analysts have an average target on the stock at $10 a share. And so I think it's one that could really move up. All right, number 1. And this was a call out on Wednesday. And this is the reason why you need to be part of our Discord group, whether it be our standard or our basic. All members receive these call outs of my analysis on insider activity. SFT, right around noon on Wednesday, had some insider activity. I called it out right away. Got in at an 809 average and really loaded up. Got in there 809. I got some at 810. Then I got some at 807. I kind of scaled in, but I was pretty bullish. Activity from Harrison, Georgia, bought shares in open market. And then later on in the day, Sam Foey bought shares at $8.10 and was trying to buy those shares same time that I did, and recorded the insider activity immediately. This is very bullish when you see this. When you see insider activity reported on the exact same day, it means those officers are trying to get that in before the news is released. It means there's news coming out, because why would they act so quickly? But this is SFT, this is Shift Technologies. Since calling this out, it is up 23.35%. And so if you would have been part of our group, you would have gotten that notification. You would have got in before the big run. And anyway, Wednesday, it did end up finishing 22.81%, and it's up more in after hours. Analysts have an average target on this of $15 a share. This thing's really going to run. I do a lot of work for this list. If you could do me a huge favor and please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. And then also, if you're seeing me for the first time or you haven't done so before, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you get notified when one of these videos comes out. I enjoy doing a lot of this research and I enjoy sharing it with all of you. I wish all of you the best and that you are successful in the stock market. I wish all of you the best on Friday, and I hope all of you have a great rest of the week and had a very happy Thanksgiving. And Raythoven out.